Welcome to some Blackout initial impressions that aren't very initial because I'm late to the party on that. Maybe this is better though. Now we've had 4 days of Treyarch posting updates and changes we can go over, and late or not, I had to say something about Blackout, so I will say it is a lot of fun. I am impressed by how well they seemed to nail this. I guess fun is subjective, that's up to you, and I can understand if you're not that interested in the mode, but as far as people who were looking forward to trying it, I don't think I've seen anyone disappointed. It seems like they really hit the mark they were aiming for here. Is it without issues? Of course not. The biggest problem you're likely already familiar with, whether you've seen it or heard about it, being the not ideal graphics, especially on the regular old PS4s, which is what I've been playing on. You will occasionally catch those good old Minecraft trees, or trees popping in and out of existence, but that has yet to pose a major problem for me, and if you have a PS4 Pro, I've heard it's a much better experience there. And hey, they made sure that the clocks have a working second hand. That's a very important detail, thank God for that. But overall, I've had a very consistently smooth experience, and that's far more important than graphics, and a very impressive feat. You can tell there's developer optimization magic going on around every corner, and for the most part, it stays behind the curtain and makes for a very enjoyable game. Even how smooth the launch of the beta was deserves some credit. Everybody from all corners of the community coming back to give it a try, tons of people getting on at once, and I didn't notice a single connection issue. Game design-wise, I don't have a whole lot of criticism. The vehicles are smooth and fun, the gunplay and ballistics are well done, the map has cool locations, the consumable perks are fun, much better than collecting permanent perks that would make you into a super soldier. I like the tactical decision of what to hold on to and when to activate it. Some things like Looter are great early game to highlight items through walls, then Skulker and Dead Silence are good to gain a huge sound advantage in gunfights. That Skulker is crazy, sneaking around at sprinting speed while crouched, and Paranoia late game can be a lifesaver. The sound is fun, not only sound whoring the footsteps, but sound does have travel time. Let's have a demonstration. Thanks to this guy I tried and failed to shoot down. He's coming in for a landing. Oh dear. But you can hear it took that explosion about 1.2 seconds to reach me because he was about 400 meters away. Love the detail. The equipment is unique and fun. It's rare that you'll find a use for the mesh mines or the razor wire in my experience, but of course all the different types of grenades come in handy. The grappling gun can be a blast. Recon cars and sensor darts I love holding on to in case the perfect time arises. The team play is fun. The wingsuiting is fun.
The game is fun.
Or again, I should say, it's fun to me. I'm just impressed by the lack of stuff I have to complain about. It usually seems like there are some big, ugly things sticking out that make you say, what were you thinking? Who thought that was a good idea? Was this playtested at all? I haven't had any of that come up. This feels very well thought through and polished. Of course, there are things that can improve, but most of them already have been. I mentioned those updates Treyarch have been making. When the community says, hey, looting could be better, how about not needing to hold, they make the change. And they said that item pickup proximity will improve further in the full game, so you don't have to be looking at things as directly. They made improvements to the quick equip menu, and they are keeping a close eye on armor balance in response to a lot of people not liking the level 3 armor, and they have already toned it down a bit. I'm happy with some armor nerfing, but I also think it wouldn't be as bad if they just made it only come in the airdrops, make those worth going for. I don't think it should be found in any old place on the ground. They've also continued balancing equipment, items, and weapons from feedback and their data, and just today they added kill cams, pretty big feature and a helpful one to see how you died. I will link all of Treyarch's update posts below. One of the big things I was hoping for was a circle speed increase, because it is quite slow and barely does any damage, and healing items are plentiful, so there's really no reason to fear it whatsoever. But then before I could say anything about that, they released the Fast Collapse mode, only one of 3 event modes they had planned apparently, the second being the close quarters SMG shotgun pistol mode they had today. I do hope that some of that fast collapse border speed carries over to the regular base game. They can afford to speed up the pace a bit more. I don't see any reason for some of those circles to have such long pauses, and then for it to move so slowly when it finally gets going, often less than walking speed. It makes camping and border hugging, waiting around doing nothing, the most effective strategy, which isn't very fun. And just so you know, my Battle Royale background is only in PUBG. I have a few hundred hours in that, so I'm not just coming in with an ADD COD mindset of there has to be action all the time. I think they can afford to speed up the circle, and they did say it's something they're evaluating in the Day 4 update. One other thing I can add that I haven't seen mentioned anywhere, I'm not so sure about the third-person driving. Being a first-person perspective mode, it's a little weird that by hopping on a well-parked ATV next to a corner, or a cargo truck positioned just below the crest of a hill, you are able to see people that cannot see you back. I don't really like that. I know I just mentioned PUBG, which has both first-person and third-person modes, and in first-person mode, everything is first-person, including driving. I will admit it is much easier in third-person, but I think I'd prefer the consistency of seeing through your player's eyes at all times, except wingsuiting is fine in third-person, since that's very situational, it can't be abused at all. I know it's very unlikely that they would make that change, since nobody seems to have a problem with it, and that's fine, because at least when you get in a vehicle, it's always turned on and making tons of noise, giving yourself away. If you could silently sit in the cab of a cargo truck, I would have a bigger problem with that. But man, I just don't have a whole lot of negative things to say about this mode that I feel aren't already being addressed. Compared to the multiplayer review a while ago, which I would describe as mixed, I had fun playing it, but I also have some fundamental grievances with it. This mode was really well done. I've had to go looking for things to complain about, like how come I can't interact with the scissor lifts? Gotta say that's pretty disappointing. Fix your game, Vonderhaar. Yeah, they've done a great thing here, and I'm excited to see it continue to evolve. I doubt they'll be making a different map anytime soon, maybe never, but I'm sure they'll add and remove things here and there to the current map. Everything from little Easter eggs to, if they never add a version of Hijacked or Carrier out in the ocean at some point, I'll be shocked. And of course, tons of weapon and perk content and everything on the way, you can be sure of that. And events, things like we're seeing now, they could take it a step further. What if they made it nighttime and added thermal scopes? I wouldn't mind a version where when you get a kill, you get a permanent version of a perk, so that people who are actually getting kills have a better chance in the endgame over border campers. But you've really got endless possibilities. The PC beta starting soon will definitely be interesting. I'll be getting in on that, see what the graphics are like there, and then come the full game, only 4 weeks away, I am most certainly hyped for Blackout. At the same time, it is another thing that is not nearly as fun played solo. BR in general, I find at least, is infinitely better as a team. When playing in a squad, I've never felt the least bit frustrated at a death or a second place finish. It's all fun, but playing solo is the opposite. No matter how well I did, it seemed like every death ends in a somewhat salty, why did I waste 20 minutes playing this, looting and running around? And even a win is like, alright, hell yeah, but I'm the only one here. Okay, I guess I'll back out now. Maybe that's just me. By the way, what is with the victory badge? You've got the chicken dinner, you've got the victory royale, now you've got the leave none standing. N isn't even in the middle of that word, so it isn't centered on the logo. Am I missing something here? That logo might be the worst designed thing in the entire mode. Hey man, did you get the win? Hell yeah, bro, I got the N. Well, back on track, yeah, solo play not as fun, and combined with the fact that I would say a headset is mandatory, I don't think Blackout will be the thing I hop on and casually grind out for a few hours, but it'll be very fun to squad up and play here and there. We'll see how that opinion changes depending on what the progression and challenges are like. You should know by now I'm all about the challenges, the completionist grind. There is so much depth coming to this mode that should turn it from just fun to straight up addicting. All the unlockables and challenges that I imagine will range from your basic winning games to shooting some hoops on the raid basketball court. Looking forward to seeing all of that. That'll be the big thing that determines how I feel like dividing my time between the modes. Will Blackout need challenge guides? I don't know. If not, I'm not entirely sure what videos I would make about it. It seems like the superior mode for doing live streams and live commentary, but that's not really my thing, so who knows? Either way, I'm rambling at this point. If you wanted to know what I've been thinking about Blackout, it has been a ton of fun. If you're Xbox or PC, don't worry, the wait is nearly over. And if you ever want to hop in some squad games with me, the place to do that is the Discord server, always in the description. You can join that. It's my preferred place for team communication because my headset mic is never plugged in and is absolute garbage. With that, you can let me know how your Blackout experience has been as well if you've tried it out, or hopefully you're about to if you haven't yet. I wish I I had more time to make proper Blackout coverage videos. Big feels bad. But thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.